Alright, so by the time you're seeing this, the Minecraft movie has been out for about 2 weeks. So I think it's finally time I make a video talking about this film. This video is honestly going to be a bit all over the place. However, I will be talking mostly about the film's unexpected success, which of course involves... But let's first start by going all the way back to 7 months ago when the first teaser trailer was released on YouTube. When this trailer was released, everyone was shocked to see the design of this film. You know, all the mobs, the buildings, the infamous pink sheep. People were divided on whether or not they liked the design choice of this film, and honestly, a lot of people hated it. But I feel like as time went on, the majority of people got used to the way this movie was designed and the way the mobs were made. By the time the movie came out, I think a lot of people sort of moved past the wacky, realistic design of these mobs and actually got used to seeing them. So much to the point when they no longer really hated them. And to be fair, the CGI and effects for this movie are honestly really good and have very few flaws. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this movie actually manages to win some sort of award for the design of this film. And I think the film really did need to look this good because it definitely lacks in other places. The story isn't the greatest and the pacing is a bit off at times, but honestly, it's a movie about Minecraft. It's a bunch of cubes, the story doesn't need to be phenomenal. But still, if it didn't have good visuals, the movie would probably look like some bootleg movie made in a foreign country. Okay, but moving on, let's talk about the chicken in the room. The absolute outburst that this movie has caused in theaters. This may not have been the Minecraft movie people have wanted for all these years, but it might have been a blessing in disguise because the reactions from people watching this movie are unlike anything that's happened before. You've definitely seen all the clips by now, but popcorn is being thrown everywhere. Drinks are being tossed through the air. Real animals are coming into the theater. It really is some crazy stuff. Who knew that a movie that was being hated on so much at first would end up with these crazy reactions? Like seriously, all it takes is a few words of wisdom from Jack Black and you have a whole theater of people jumping around and acting like they're on some sort of fancy powder. I'm honestly surprised that Australia is going bizarre in our theaters too. I did not think we would go to the level of some American cinemas, but in some cases we went further than them. In one particular Australian screening, they set off a fire extinguisher. If I was a normal person going into that screening and saw the fire extinguisher being used, I would honestly be slightly scared. Apparently the fumes or whatever from the fire extinguisher actually started choking people and making them feel not too good. And yeah, if you're the one sitting directly next to a working fire extinguisher, that would make complete sense. You know, that in my opinion is actually too far. If these reactions are to the point of people being in danger, then it has definitely gone way too far. The funny thing is, even my local theater ended up reacting by cheering and clapping, and normally my theater doesn't do anything, even for some of the biggest moments in cinema. That is just how much of an impact this movie has. This movie may have not been successful in its storytelling, but it is truly successful by the reactions of its audience. Even Marvel movies that bring out the most insane cameos don't get these reactions. Freaking Avengers Secret Wars is probably going to pull out the chicken jockey to fight Doctor Doom just so they can get some of this. The director of this film was asked about his opinion on all these reactions, and he pretty much just confessed that he supports it and loves seeing all the videos, which obviously he's not going to say that he's not happy. He's not going to tell people to stop. This is his work that gets cheered upon and gets all the media publicity. It's all basically free marketing for his name and what he's created. The only person from the cast that's told people to not react like crazy is Jack Black, which is pretty funny, but you know, I guess he's in that position where he's allowed to do that and doesn't really care. This movie has made $550 million already, way more than anyone thought. However, the movie is already starting to slow down and most of the craziness has settled. Despite this, a sequel is already in the works, and you already know the writers are going to make the silliest and most random stuff for Jack Black to say, just so that this reaction can happen once again. This movie is actually insane.